Hello and welcome to Hits Different. Delighted to be joined by my good friend, John Barclay, my Scottish friend, one of my only Scottish friends, one of the only people that returns my call from Scotland. But John is here to talk about his top 5 best moments. Six Nations. It's been 25 years, best tournament in the world. John is going to talk us through some of his top 5. And here we go, John Barclay. John, we're after your top 5 best moments of the Six Nations as a player and as a fan. Let's dive right in. Number 5, Jonathan.
Number 5 is going to be the first game I ever went to. It's actually not Six Nations. I don't know if that's going to count, but we're going to say it as anyway, if that's all right.
Yeah.
12 years old, I think I was, and John Leslie scored. I was there with school. John Leslie scored a try against Wales, the fastest Six Nations try in history. My first ever game at Six Nations. I think you just remember the first time there. Tartan rugs on, school uniform on, all the good stuff. Shortbread. It was great. It was wicked.
Also, the best moment is your first ever experience of the Six Nations. See, I never went to watch a rugby game.
You know,
as a kid, nah.
Football.
I mean, because I was football, but because I lived up in Leeds, obviously England played down in London. It was like I'd never go to London as a kid. Number 4, mate.
My first Six Nations game.
Okay.
Playing against France in Murrayfield. So I got my first cap. I got my first cap in the World Cup 2007, and it was a dead rubber. I mean, it was at Murrayfield, so it was cool. We put out the shags, and it was, we got hammered 40-0. Everyone's like, "Oh, you must have loved that." I was like, "Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, it was great crack." But to your point of like the Six Nations hits different, it just does. And I remember like driving up to. I think Murrayfield does it great. I know the away teams don't like getting piped in because I think we're slowing them down.
It takes so long, John.
It takes so long for us as well. You got to soak it up, mate. Just soak it up.
Because we soak it up. We watch the bagpipe. They take us ages, and then like you get out off the bus and people are lobbing pints at you. So I'm like, perfect. It just angers them more.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're all charming.
I've had a few pints. I've had a few pints. Loved it. I love it though, mate. I love it. It's as close to football as you can get. But I think
there's tribalism there for Scotland.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love seeing how passionate they are there. It's amazing.
No, because it's kind of grown, and I don't know what it was like when you finished, but like all the sort of stairs up and Passover, and it's rammed with people. I remember like getting off the first Six Nations game, and everyone said, "Oh, it's a bit different. The atmosphere is different," and you rock up, and you're like, "Oh my word!" Like crying getting off the bus, crying going into the dressing room, like going on the pitch before, crying on the pitch. I mean, we lost that game, but I just remember thinking. There's something you grew up. I grew up watching the Six Nations at school and went to a handful of games, maybe at tops. Then you're in the middle of a Six Nations match.
Awesome, mate. So number 3 we are down to now.
Number 3, beating Ireland at Croke Park.
Offload, slight knock on, crunching thump by Barclay. Offload again. Ball ends up in Morrison's hand. Bit of space here for Scotland, and Beattie. Oh, through Jordan Murphy like a speed bump, and the power to score in the corner.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2010. That was probably my best ever year playing for Scotland, 2010. Like personally.
Yeah.
Best I ever played was probably 2010 or 2018.
Yeah.
We went to Ireland, and it was like all the newspapers were planning like Triple Crown celebrations. They couldn't win the championship, but it was like, oh, well, at least we got Triple Crown kind of crack. And we were like, you're right. The last 2 minutes of the game, last game of the championship, you're in Dublin at Croke, which is, did you play there?
Yeah, I didn't have a great time there. I came off the bench, and within 2 minutes, I shoulder barred someone in the back, and I got sin-binned.
Oh, perfect.
To which we lost. That was when you saw the Martin Johnson slamming a fist on the. That was me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That was a good day for me. That
terrible
day. Oh, we lost. Yeah, we lost. Only just as well. So it was. They scored straight after I did that as well. So it wasn't a great memory for me. That one.
This is probably the only time I've ever been like giggling I was like laughing at the bottom because I knew we'd won.
Amazing.
And they're going mad. They're going ballistic on the pitch because they can't get the ball back. hoof the
And
ball.
you're just giggling on the bottom of the ruck.
Great night out in Dublin afterwards.
Okay, we digress. Okay, that's number 3. Number 2, John.
First game as captain at Murrayfield. Hadn't beaten Wales in 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
And my first game as captain, I played in Wales at the time as well. So all the boys were given the big one all week.
Yeah.
All planning the night out.
Yeah.
Give it one. And then none of them came out afterwards, wouldn't you know?
Crazy.
So, first game as captain. I think the first time maybe all my kids were there. First game as captain, first win as captain. Yeah, and nice to get one over your mates, your club mates for sure.
That's clear. John, can I ask you? I'll never know this, but what is it like to be captain of your country? I know everyone says, yeah, it's great, it's a massive honour, but sum that up from this 17-year-old lad where your brother said, mate, you're never going to play for Scotland, don't bother, go and do medicine. You were like, no, I'm going to chase this dream.
Yeah, mate. I think the captaincy stuff becomes, once you get past that, the emotional side is, I mean, it's amazing. I only did it for a couple of years, but it's also pretty damn hard.
Yeah.
Like I think the wins probably aren't as good as the losses are bad. If that makes sense. Like when you lose as a captain, I found it, really hard to get over and like think about, did I do everything in the week, not just as a player. So I think it's a pretty. I think you probably, as a player, maybe just me speaking out loud, thinking out loud, you're a bit more selfish. You play right, you sort yourself out, sort your performance out. As a captain, it was like, I don't know if I missed something. And I remember that 2017 game when you boys hammered us. I was captain. I was like, this is the worst of my career.
Yeah.
And you're diving over, swan diving at 70 minutes or something, saying we want to do.
Yeah, that was my first was about 65. Second was 80 actually. That day.
That was the last play of the game. I remember thinking, God, I didn't think I was going to say this in this game. I wish this game was 1 minute longer so I could come after you. I wouldn't have done anything.
That's one of your worst moments. That's up there for me as one of my best. Number 1, mate, as John Barclay, player or fan, best moment ever in the Six Nations.
Winning the Calcutta Cup 2018. Had to be. And I wish it meant more I wish there was more things that, were Triple Crowns or whatever. But you asked earlier if I ever thought I would play for, did I ever dream of playing for Scotland? I didn't necessarily, I probably dreamt of it. I never thought it would happen. What I do know is that I watched, Calcutta Cup games, and I remember like Jason White, and you remember, because at that point they were few and far between those wins. And I remember before the game thinking, this is probably my last chance. I was 31. It was at Murrayfield. I thought, I don't think I'll get a better chance than this. And fueled by what happened the year before a little bit, or a lot, probably the way we played, and selfishly the way I played, probably one of my better games in Scotland jersey. And then that's probably the kind of surreal moments of like, never ever thought I'd walk up and get a Calcutta Cup as a kid. Like you never think you're going to do that, and you walk up and say, "Thinking, shit, this is pretty cool." It's
mad that your ultimate moment is definitely in one of my top 5 worst.
Two of mine.
I'm pleased for you. I am.
Yeah.
I still, as we've said before, I blame Nigel Owens should have given me I should have had a try. He pulled me back for an interception, and I was going to go the length at Murrayfield, which I wasn't going to get caught, John. I really wasn't for one time in my career. And then the game could have been so different. But that Finn Russell pass, and I have to say, there was something in the air that day. I know you don't like sometimes to admit it, but I was walking around before the game going, oh, God, like this feels a bit different. And then you boys were on it, and every little scrap, it was like, these boys aren't messing around today, and you deserve that. And I'm pleased for you, John, that you had that moment.
Well, Leah, you said my top one is one of your worst, but one of your top ones is one of my worst. You diving over for 60 points, so
yeah,
all bounces out.
Look at us, yin and yang. There we go. John Barclay, thank you very much, mate. That has been your top 5 Six Nations moments on Hits Different. Appreciate your time, mate, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.